tangled close to the jukebox bars you frequent, the safest place to hide. A long night spent with your most obvious weakness, you start shaking at the thought. You are everything I want, 'cause you are everything I'm not.
Welcome back. It's a new year. Hopefully from the B-roll you can put two and two together and see that I am going to attempt to put a slick top back on the road, or back on the track, because it's pretty rough. Wait till you see it. Alright, so let's talk about some E36s. Just for clarification, before we get into this car, I want to talk about these other ones, so it will hopefully kind of explain how we got here with this car. This is my buddy Michael's car, has nothing to do with what I'm going to talk about. That coupe right there is what I was originally going to put together for 2026, and I'll explain why I'm not doing that in a second. And the car behind the slick top is just another Arctic Silver sedan that I parted out like last year. It's just a shell, it's got to go. But these two cars I picked up, and I originally wanted to build both of them. But ultimately, if I want to build either one of these cars, I need to pick one, and I need to fund the project. So one of these is going to get parted out. I'll tell you why the coupe is getting parted out, so hopefully people aren't too mad at me. Alright, this car behind me is a 1992 BMW 325 IS. This is the non-Vanos motor. This is like kind of the cream of the crop in my eyes as far as like building a coupe. This will be my choice. I hate white cars, but I keep ending up with them, as you'll see here. So really, in a nutshell, that's what makes this coupe special to me. I've never owned a non-Vanos car, and I've had 20 plus E36s, and I've also never owned a slick top. The difference between these two cars is one of these needs major structural repair, and one of these is arguably much rarer and doesn't need that work. I will insert a video, but this car needs major structural repair. The rear stud for the unibody is actually completely torn out. Common problem on these cars that I had always heard of but never experienced. So with this car's structural condition, I would not let it leave my shop unless someone brought a trailer. I've had this up for sale for like 3 months, no hits. Do I want to keep it and save it? Absolutely. I'm one person and I can only really enjoy one E36 at a time. I mean, my E36 M3 just sits in a garage. So there's absolutely no point in me building two, but that leads us to the slick top. This car quite literally fell in my lap. I don't know how else to explain it. I posted a "I will buy your BMW" ad on Facebook, as I do time to time when inventory is low on E36 parts, and someone hit me up about 2 hours away and they sent me photos of this. They did not send me any photos from the top. I had no idea it was a slick top until I got there. It may have looked like from the B-roll that this is an M3, but it is in fact a 328. It's a WBA VIN car, so it is not a WBS car. It is, however, a clean title 328, factory ZF, factory Alpine white. If you're gonna build a slick top sedan, I believe that this is basically the best car on paper to build. So it looks like this car's been sitting for a very long time. I mean, you can see there's stuff growing on it. One thing that really sucks is the interior is very well fully thrashed and basically unusable. This window was left down for God knows how long. But one thing I did just notice as I was filming this is that back seat. So we have a non-folding rear seat, which I think is extra cool. That gets like track car points. We have the sunroof headliner still intact, like the fiberglass that is, so we can do that. The M3 parts are added bonuses. The thing that I'm really curious about, some of you may be wondering the same thing. See if there's a hood pop or if it needs it. I want to know if this car got the M3 drivetrain. I cannot tell you if this is an S52 or not, and even if it is, it needs to come out. It's been sitting in here exposed to the elements for way too long. But it does have the M oil cap, which means pretty much nothing, but it does give me kind of a glimmer of hope that this car has an S52 in it. Now, I've been plotting on this project for quite a while, so I've already gone and looked at the VIN numbers for each car. If you're unaware, the older BMWs put the VINs on basically every body panel. Newer ones don't do that. So I grabbed the VIN off of the trunk, which is presumably all the same parts from the doors and hopefully the engine, the transmission, and everything else, and I plugged that into like the VIN inspect, as well as the actual chassis VIN number. And what we have on paper is a 110,000 mile M3 and a 174,000 mile 328 smashed together. That slick top back there is very well my best find ever. After 20 plus E36s, that one has been my most lucky unobtainium E36 chassis. So building that versus the coupe is a no-brainer. You're probably no longer wondering why I trailered in a sedan this morning with all white body panels. So that's the plan. We're going to smash these two together. So that car is currently hacked together with, you know, an M3 and a 328. The goal here would be to add a third car to hopefully get it closer to completion. So that's the plan. We're gonna take this car and add all the parts that I need to the slick top. But before we can do any of that, we're gonna have to fully decontaminate it. I'm gonna have to get it onto the pavement. I don't have a key for the car, so it's completely locked up. Whether that means I need to scoot it back on the trailer or pull it with a 4Runner or get some buddies to help. Either way, that in itself is gonna be its own project. Getting it probably onto this pad behind me so that we can get it decontaminated before it ends up in my shop. So yeah, we have this car behind us. It's got a very complete dove gray interior, and it has some very straight doors, fenders, hood, trunk, all that stuff. There's like virtually no dents on this car, and it's actually the same exact year. I think these are both late 97 productions. It's pretty spot on for a match. I'm really excited to put this out on YouTube. There's like no one that's built a slick top. I'll talk about, I guess, my inspiration behind slick tops in future videos. The only one that I know that's ever been like documented somewhat on YouTube is Tommy F. Yeah. That was a huge inspiration for me back when I was younger. This is kind of the first person I saw build an E36 to like a OEM Plus standard. Not that those cars weren't out there before, but that was just my first exposure to it. The slick top idea of having a slick top is just very cool to me, but I'm just excited to share how this build goes online. I've always filmed YouTube videos, I've always filmed my car stuff, but I really am excited for this. I'm not gonna be making it super quick cut to appeal to an algorithm. If you stumble upon these videos, I appreciate it, and if you don't, you know, whatever. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to check out the parts page, 36works.shop. I sell a lot of BMW E36 parts. I sell E46, E90, stuff around that generation. So if you ever need parts or service and you're located in the Northern California area, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm happy to do work on these cars for you. With that all being said, I will hopefully see you in the next slick top video.